Coach Childs really does a good job of bringing us all together and having a really cohesive group so that we can really work together.
The way he coaches, he's so friendly with his players and he looks after them, and it's more than on the field, it's off the field as well.
But you did it, man. Your body and everything you're doing is perfect, which allows Ryan to go out. You just have to tell him.
If you ask a York College men's lacrosse player one of their favorite parts about playing for YCP, head coach Brandon Childs is likely at the top. Childs is in his 8th season as the Spartans head coach, and he has built a program that has become a family and works to compete for national titles year in and year out. Coach Childs has also been named the CAC Coach of the Year and a finalist for National Coach of the Year. I had the pleasure of speaking with the head coach, where he discussed what he teaches his players to be successful on and off the field.
Yeah, I think just on the field, from an on-the-field standpoint, there's certain fundamentals to the game that you can be working on individually, and we really challenge our guys, and we have a certain standard that needs to be upheld in terms of your work with your fundamentals and just the skill, just like any other sport. There's a skill set that's required to be great, and we certainly challenge our guys to spend time working on those. There's just an off-the-field chemistry and culture component to our program that I think is, it deserves a lot of credit for the success that we have on the field, and I think those months prior to the season is where your culture is kind of fine-tuned and revealed, and strong leadership kind of steps up, and so those months become really important in terms of developing kind of the mindset in which your team needs to have to be successful.
Even as a championship caliber program, every athlete deals with adversity at some point. I spoke with 3 of York's players, and they discuss how Coach Childs helps them battle it.
He really teaches us to be better men on and off the field, so it really translates into real life. So instead of backing down and kind of getting frustrated, especially in this game, he really teaches us to rise above and face our adversity head on and to just kind of take it like men.
His big thing is just staying composed. When stuff goes bad, the only thing you do is just take a step back and realize we still got this. We'll be fine.
Yeah, always be the more disciplined person. When we're on the field, at halftime, our main focus was to be the more disciplined team. And in the first half, obviously, we weren't doing that. And then we talked at halftime and realized we needed to just stick to everything and be simple. And then we came out and did that.
We speak very clearly about, humility being a prerequisite to be a part of our program. And not humility in the terms of being modest and modesty and kind of thinking less of yourself, but more humility in terms of constantly seeking improvement. I'm not quite where I need to be. And so the first step in humility is being willing to accept the truth, and adversity hits you with honesty. We're going to educate our guys in that process, and so whether it's adversity, losing a game or an injury or whatever it is, to our guys, we just immediately start with this is just one more event that requires an above-the-line response. And if we can respond to those things above the line, the outcome, will be a desirable one.
There are also multiple parts that Coach Childs enjoys the most about coaching lacrosse at York College.
Kind of tinkering around each week with what's the best systems to put in place for our team to be successful, and kind of finding ways to kind of accentuate our strengths and finding ways to expose the other team's weaknesses. I just enjoy that preparation. And then communicating that to a group, and then, on game day, kind of sitting back and watching them execute. It's just so fun to watch that kind of from week to week come into play. So from a tactical standpoint, that would be the answer. And just from an overall standpoint, it would just be the relationships that I get to have with these guys. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I think for me personally, if you told me I had one wish and not a goal for each of my players, it would be that they just end up forming a relationship or two in their time at York College that will last their lifetime. In terms of goals and for my guys is, I want them to be happy and I want them to be successful, and not successful in terms of the size of their bank account, but kind of successful in, size of their heart, and just their appreciation and gratitude for the opportunities that they have beyond York College, and then an appreciation and gratitude for what York College did and the lacrosse program did to prepare them for those opportunities. But in the time that they're here, we set really ambitious goals in terms of wins and losses, and our goal is kind of to win the national championship. We very rarely ever talk about it. I don't know that I've said the word win the national championship outside of then on a recruiting visit, because we're just kind of really interested in just the daily progress towards that ultimate goal, but if you asked anybody on our team what their goal is, it would be to win the national championship. And having an ambitious goal like that doesn't allow for, you know, contentment to creep in or any lack of humility. Like, we already have the answer, and it's going to, you know, continuously have us sharpening our sword because we have an ambitious goal. Their willingness to play their role to the best of their ability for the good of the team is what makes us go. And I don't take it for granted as the coach at all, and I try to communicate that to my guys all of the time, just my appreciation for them and their willingness to play their part to the best of their ability and not seek any more or any less than the best of what we ask them to do within their role.
Obviously, getting coached by Coach Childs is awesome. He coached our club lacrosse team, so we came here from Rock Lacrosse together. He coached me since my junior year of high school, so it's definitely why I came here. So I'm gonna miss Coach Childs and the boys the most.
And if there's one thing that I could say, you know, got us here, it is this kind of approach where I'm gonna do my job to the best of my ability, and if I don't get any credit, so be it. We'll win on Saturday.